Version 5.8 is bringing us a brand new 5-star character named Ineffa, and while she might not have been on anyone's radar at first, she's quickly shaping up to be one of the most unique support characters Genshin has introduced in a long time. Now, if you haven't heard much about Ineffa yet, that's completely fair. She kind of came out of nowhere. No teaser trailers, no months of data-mined hype, just a sudden appearance in the 5.8 beta with a full kit and some wild mechanics. And what makes her really interesting is that she's not just another Electro character. She introduces a brand new elemental reaction called Lunar Charged. And here's the kicker, it's exclusive to her. This reaction doesn't exist in the game unless Ineffa is on the field or in your party. It's very similar to how Nilou's bountiful cores only work when she's in the team. So let's break this all down. How she works, what her reaction does, and where she fits into the current meta. Ineffa is a 5-star Electro polearm user. Her role falls somewhere between a support and a sub-DPS, but not in the traditional sense. She's not built to heal, and she doesn't deal massive personal damage either. Instead, her entire kit is focused on enabling reactions, specifically Lunar Charged, and supporting her team with buffs and consistent Electro application. Her normal attacks are pretty standard polearm strikes, so there's not much to discuss there. The core of her playstyle lies in her elemental skill and burst. Her skill deals AoE Electro damage and summons a construct, called either Birgitta, depending on translation, that floats around and periodically zaps nearby enemies with Electro. She also generates a shield that scales off her ATK and has 250% increased absorption against Electro damage. That detail alone makes her much more durable than other shielders like Layla or Diona, especially in Electro-heavy domains or abyss floors. The summon stays on the field and strikes enemies every couple of seconds, applying consistent Electro. If you've used Fischl or Yai Miko before, this will feel familiar. But Ineffa's summon isn't just for reaction uptime, it's a key component in unlocking her signature reaction, Lunar Charged. So, what is Lunar Charged exactly? It's basically a modified version of Electro-charged, which normally is what you get when Electro meets Hydro. But when Ineffa is in the party, that reaction is replaced with Lunar Charged, and it brings some important changes. First, it loses its AoE splash damage, becoming single-target focused. But in exchange, it can crit, which is a game-changer. Most elemental reactions don't crit. Reactions like Overloaded or Superconduct scale with elemental mastery and character level only. But Lunar Charge scales with EM, ATK, and even CRIT stats, which opens up entirely new build paths and compositions. If Ineffa isn't in your party, the reaction just defaults back to Electro-charged. So much like Nilou's role in Bloom teams, Ineffa is locked into very specific comps. But in return, she offers a ton of value that no one else can provide. Her burst also revolves around Birgitta. When you activate it, she deals another round of AoE Electro damage and refreshes the summon if it's already active. It doesn't replace the summon, it just reinforces it. So instead of losing uptime, you're actually gaining more Electro application and more chances to trigger Lunar Charged. Now let's talk about her passives, because this is where things get really interesting. One of her passives increases Lunar Charged space damage based on her ATK. Specifically, every 100 points of ATK gives an extra 0.7% damage, up to a max bonus of 14%. That's free extra scaling just for building attack. Another passive boosts elemental mastery for both Ineffa and the current active character after using her burst, again based on her ATK. So she's not just enabling reactions, she's also amplifying their output. And her final passive adds another layer. When a mechanic called Thundercloud is active, Birgitta deals an additional hit of Lunar Charged damage, scaling once again with her ATK. So, to summarize, Ineffa scales with ATK, buffs her team with ATK and Elemental Mastery, and powers up a brand new crit scaling reaction that only exists when she's present. It's a unique, layered, and highly specialized kit. She's also getting a signature weapon, Fractured Halo, and it's clearly designed to perfectly complement her kit. It comes with a high base ATK of around 608 and a massive crit DMG secondary stat, roughly 66.2%. When an elemental skill or elemental burst is used, the equipping character's ATK is increased by 24% for 20 seconds. If the equipping character creates a shield while this effect is active, nearby party members will be enhanced, dealing 40% more Lunar Charged DMG for 20 seconds. This passive is powerful. Not only does it give the user a strong ATK boost, but it also provides a team-wide Lunar Charged damage buff if a shield is generated, something Ineffa does naturally with her skill. The synergy is seamless, reinforcing her role as a reaction enabler and support. So, what kind of teams should you consider for Ineffa? Well, since she's focused on Electro plus Hydro synergy, the obvious pairings are characters like Yelan, Xingqiu, or even Neuvillette. Neuvillette especially stands out. He provides constant Hydro application, self-healing, and high damage, while Ineffa supports him from off-field and provides shielding during his charged attacks. Kokomi and Farina could also work depending on whether you want more healing or damage. There's even some experimental potential for dual Electro comps with Fischl or Raiden Shogun, especially to improve uptime and energy, but that's something we'll need to test once she goes live. One big takeaway here is that Ineffa could be build-defining. Just like how Nilou completely transformed Bloom teams, Ineffa might establish an entirely new meta-archetype around single-target, crit-scaling elemental reactions. If her numbers hold up on release, she might become a must-pull for players focused on Hydro-Electro reaction teams, not because of her personal damage, but because of the sheer amount of passive value she brings. Shielding, buffing, and enabling an exclusive reaction. So, what do you think? Are you planning to pull for Ineffa? Do you think she'll live up to the hype, or will her lack of AoE limit her practical value? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Genshin Impact updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.